This is a quick overview on the InkSoft Jobs add-on solution. InkSoft Jobs is a powerful add-on that expands the platform and helps streamline the production process. The add-on is comprised of the purchasing and production sections in InkSoft. Let's take a look at this solution now. When new orders are generated in InkSoft, they'll automatically appear in the Order Manager. These decorated orders contain a lot of important details regarding product information and artwork or design information. This information is critical for things like the purchasing and receiving of blank goods, and for creating custom production jobs so you can produce and fulfill the orders. With the new purchasing and production sections, you can take advantage of all of this information in useful and meaningful ways. Let's start with purchasing. Purchasing allows you to maintain control of what blank products are needed to fulfill orders. It lets you track what you have on hand, what you've ordered, what you've received, and what's still not in your shop. Purchasing will automatically display a list of blank goods needed for orders in your Order Manager, and you can filter by supplier, manufacturer, and more to organize and find the products you need for each situation. This is handled in the Needs Purchasing view. When you see the products you're looking for, you can begin to make your selections. You can click on each size in a product to expand and select specific quantities. Or you can just check the box for that size to select everything. You can also click Select All on multiple products to select all quantities for those products and colors. Once you've made your selection, you can mark your products as in stock if you already have them on hand. This will remove the products from the Needs Purchasing list. If you need to order the blank products from your suppliers, you can create a new purchase order to keep them organized. To create a new PO, simply choose a supplier from the list, then enter any additional optional information you may need. Click Create PO. The products will also then be removed from the Needs Purchasing list. If there are more products you need to add to an existing PO, you can select them and choose Assign. You'll be able to choose which PO they are assigned to. Head to the Purchased view to see all the POs you're currently working with. Click on the PO ID number to see the details of that PO. You can see that as soon as you create a new PO with blank products, the PO initially shows the status of purchased. This implies that you're now ready to place an order with your supplier and you can proceed with that process. Or you've already placed an order and are waiting for your goods. If you still need to place an order and would like to send your supplier the product information, you have an option to print or download a PDF of that PO. It will contain all the product style and SKU information. Notes can be added to the PO. These can be used for your supplier or for internal purposes in your shop. Once you've placed an order and your blank goods are being shipped, you also have an option to enter a tracking number on the PO. The goal with every PO, of course, is to mark it as received. The main function of the purchasing section is to allow you to organize products that need to be purchased, then track those items and log that you have them available once they're received. Click the check marks next to the products in the PO to mark them as received. Doing this changes the status of the PO to partially received, and it changes the blank product status to received as well. The product status is viewable both in the Order Manager in your orders and in production jobs in the production section. This way there's clear communication everywhere as to what products you do or do not have on hand. Once you mark all of the products in a PO as received, the PO status itself will change to received, and the PO will move to the Received view. For reference, you can click on the Received or In Stock views to see POs and products that you've marked accordingly. And that's about it for the purchasing section. It's a simple yet very powerful and useful tool that lets you track purchasing and receiving in InkSoft with intuitive and easy-to-use functionality. With purchasing, you can ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. You'll have exactly what you need to print exactly when you need it. Now, let's take a look at production. The production section is designed to let you work on your orders by breaking them up into their unique production pieces. This way you can create production jobs based on the artwork or print method rather than on one specific order. This is handled by way of production cards. With production cards, you no longer have to treat one order with one production stage. One order may contain many different kinds of products with different production needs and workflows. So now you can create custom jobs out of specific products with production cards. Production cards come from products in your orders, and they're automatically generated once an order is created. You can have a maximum of 4 production cards per product due to print locations like front, back, left sleeve, and right sleeve. A production card will be generated for each design location for every unique item within an order. Organizing your production cards is easy, however, as most of the time you'll be grouping them by design, by order, or by product. You also have the ability to search for production cards or filter to find what you need. This will give you the best context and control to be able to create the appropriate jobs out of your production cards. The ultimate goal with the production section is to mark production cards as completed. However, the way to take full advantage of production is to organize multiple production cards into a production job, rather than working on the individual cards alone. Creating a job out of production cards is similar to creating a PO out of blank products. A production job will let you manage the production process from beginning to end, and it's the best way to make sure your team is on the same page so all orders get completed on time. When you click Create Job, you'll be asked to assign a workflow. A workflow is made up of production stages, and every workflow used in production is custom created. This means that you choose the name of the workflow, the names, colors, and order of the stages, and how many stages you need. You can also choose an avatar icon from our list to assign to your workflow. This makes it easier to identify your workflows quickly. This is handled in the Preferences view of production. This is where you'll create and manage all of the custom production workflows you need for your shop. After assigning a workflow to your job, you can give your job a name and then choose the schedule date. This is when you'll begin working on the job. You can also add notes to the job. Once you create the job, the production cards you used for it will be removed from the main production cards area. They are now only contained within the job, ready to be worked on. If you need to add more cards to an existing job, you can do this as well. Creating and scheduling production jobs will inform your orders in the Order Manager and will automatically change the order status from new to scheduled. Once the scheduled production job begins, the order status will change to in progress. To view and manage jobs you've created, click on the Jobs board. This will show you a list of open jobs you're currently working on, with important information viewable at a glance. You can then search or filter to find specific jobs. To view and work on an individual job, click on the job number. Here you'll be able to view a job summary, showing a list of the production cards in that job, product previews, an optional notes area, and a timeline of changes made to the job. In the top right, you'll have an option to print or download a work order for the job. And you also have options to edit the job, change the workflow, and more. To change the workflow stage for the job, simply click on the stage dropdown. You can choose to move the job to the next appropriate stage. The detailed job view will also let you see more information for the artwork in that job, and a list of the blank products needed for the job, complete with the product purchasing status I mentioned earlier. Once you've completed the job by moving it to the built-in completed stage, all of the production cards within the job will also be marked as completed. You can then view completed jobs in the Jobs board by switching from Open Jobs to Completed Jobs. Completing the jobs and production cards will again inform the corresponding orders. When all production cards from an order have been completed, the order status will change from in progress to ready to ship or pick up. You can then head back to your order manager to ship those orders or mark them as picked up. This is essentially the workflow for production and the relationship between production jobs and orders in the order manager. Finally, there's a way to handle decorated orders in a way that makes sense for the production process. The last area of production I want to show you is the calendar. While the Jobs board will show you all your jobs in a simple list view with basic info at a glance, the better way to keep track of all your jobs will actually be with the calendar view. The calendar view is the best way to make sure that your production jobs are always on schedule and on time. Here in the calendar, you'll see your production jobs right away. Like the Jobs board, the calendar is just another view to see all the jobs you're working on, so there's no need to manually send a job to the calendar. Your jobs will show here as soon as you create them, and they'll appear according to the scheduled date. The calendar will always default to week view and to today's date, but you can easily switch to month view or day view. Use these arrows to move backward or forward in your calendar. You can also click here to jump to a specific date. Back in week view, you also have the option to scroll left to right in the calendar to quickly see past or upcoming jobs. Click on Today to jump back to the current week. And finally, use the filters to find jobs based on a job workflow, by stage, or by due date. For the high-level view of your jobs, you can quickly see the workflow assigned and the name of the workflow when you hover over the icon. You'll also see the job name, the due date, and the current job stage. Since the calendar view is the one you'll likely spend most of your time in to manage your jobs, you'll have the ability to preview most of the information for each job from here, and you'll even have some actions available to you as well. Click on any job to preview that job on the right side. Here you'll be able to see the job's schedule date and due date, some information for the production cards contained in the job, product previews, and the job activity. For action items, you'll have the ability to edit the job, change the workflow, download a render package of art for that job, or delete the job. You can also change the job stage, add notes, or leave comments. To further work on that job and view all the details, you can always click on the job ID number either in the preview or in the calendar, and that will take you straight to the job details view in production. And finally, if the schedule date changes for any of your jobs, you can simply drag and drop to easily update that date right from within the calendar. The production section provides so many great tools like custom workflows and a calendar view for your jobs. This is to ensure that you have a predictable production process, less downtime, and better quality products. With the InkSoft Jobs add-on solution, you'll be able to greatly enhance the platform with the powerful purchasing and production sections. Now you can streamline your production process and eliminate mistakes, bottlenecks, and inefficiencies with smart software designed for your shop.